What up, Grizz Nation, and welcome back to another and a very somber, in all honesty, Grizz 901, the live post game show, the number one Grizzlies post game show, and it's not even close. Tonight was definitely a chance that if you were a Grizzlies fan going into the game, if you did not believe, you quickly were a believer, and going into halftime, whatever Dort did, that was something that honestly no athlete does. And I'm not going to say that, yes, he meant to, but the problem is like he's an athlete and should not be doing what he did. Like he should not go up against Ja and undercut another professional athlete. So we'll get into all of that and much more. But Ja Morant goes out tonight. And he is honestly going to be out for the entire season. I don't expect him back the next game, coming back to the bench on crutches. And just kind of his emotions just showed exactly what that injury was going to be like. But all in all, we'll get into all of this and much more as we break down the game, talk about the 77 first half points by the Grizzlies to then the 31 second half points by those same Grizzlies, but there was no Ja Morant. So we'll get into all of that as we continue through the night. We'll break down the game and see if we can kind of talk some people off the ledge, but kind of just try to enjoy ourselves as we always do. But let's get to it. Yo, what up, Nate?
It's depression.
I laugh so bad, but like I'm so pissed.
Jesus Christ, dude. I know it on purpose, but Lu Dort plays football on an effing basketball court. I swear to God. I didn't before that was even happening, I'm like, he is assaulting dudes when they were down by 20. Way before the Joseph ever happened. And then that stuff happened. I mean, it was not on purpose, but like I've seen people all over X just being like, oh, well, he was slipping. Why was he slipping? Because he was about to undercut Ja no matter what. Like, it didn't matter if he slipped or not. He was turning around, not on purpose to undercut Ja, but just a reckless contest. It's just ridiculous. So, anyways, I mean, the entire Thunder team gets to play football out there. They play way more physical than Memphis. Memphis needs to find guys who can play physical as well, but I don't know, man. Jaren should have shot 30 free throws that game. It's not the refs, dude. It's not the refs. You lost your star player. The air went out of the building, and the Grizz were playing survival the entire second half.
Yeah.
Just blew it.
Let's talk about the Lu Dort incident because what he did, just a simple explanation, and everybody can go back and watch the highlight. He got turned around and was a slip. The problem is anytime you were to slip and somebody is coming down to the lane, I promise you, I've had this happen to me in real life, and this is old man basketball. I know it happens. You just dive out of the way. You get the hell out. Like, that's just what happens. You don't try to go at somebody because you're done. You fall to the side. So you're telling me a professional athlete can slip and then he can't figure out his footing, but only to go into a player? Come on, man. Like, it just doesn't make sense. And if any OKC player or OKC fan defends that he couldn't help it, then that's just shows that they're just a complete idiot. There's going to be idiots in this chat. You know what? Welcome, but you're an idiot. Just going to be honest with you. And at that point, you take a guy out. It's like taking somebody out in their professional career. Why do that? Like, why be who Lu Dort is? And the fact that the league continues to let guys get away with the things they let people get away with, it's just going to be like this. And unfortunately, it's going to suck.
One win for the season is I have seen 1,000 people finally come around and realize Adam Silver's the worst commissioner in professional sports.
Right.
Like, everybody is starting to see it, no matter what. Like, it doesn't care who you are. You hate him for some reason at this point. And whatever that reason is.
Yeah.
You're right. You're right. And again, it was not Lu Dort trying to be dirty. Just to be really clear. Like, he was not trying to be dirty. But it was on accident dirty. Like, it was just a reckless play. Just like the Simpson kid with Wells. Simpson didn't mean to hurt Wells. But guess what? He did, because it was a reckless play.
Yeah.
And it happens. But again, that's not the reason that they lost. I mean, it obviously played a huge factor, right? Took all of the air out of the building.
It was the reason they lost. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. Like, it is. Okay. It is.
It's the reason they lost. At the same time, dude, I'm as out as I could be on this coach. I'm like as out could possibly be. I just am. I just am. Let's not sub Jaren out at 7 minutes for one half.
Well, there's ways to figure it out. Like, there's ways to work around that, right? You sub him out for a possession, knowing you're going to get the ball back, and then you're going to use a timeout. Like, you use a timeout, knowing that you get another timeout in a second. So there's ways that you can do that. And so that point, we're talking about a coach that really just doesn't understand. You got to use your time wisely. And that's where it comes down to, is if you can use your time wisely, then you'll be okay. Unfortunately, Tomas is not using his time wisely.
Well, and it wasn't just the second half when that happened, which the second half is when you're like, dude, you cannot stick with your rotation right now. You just can't. You did it in the first half. It just so happened Scottie Pippen made like 5 threes in the first quarter. But he did the same exact thing in the first half. And I said, why do we keep doing this? Like, Jaren has he had over half of the team's points at that time, and he took him out. Yeah. It's not there. It doesn't feel like the team's responding to him. Anyways, I'm out on it. Feels like the same stuff that we've been frustrated about for a long time with TJ.
All right. So real quick, before we kind of move on to the coach, there's a lot of questions in here, and I think I pissed off some Thunder fans, which honestly, that's what I'm trying to do. So you know what? F you is what I'll say. Second thing, I got a question. Why don't we have a player that takes a shot at an OKC player? You had your guy. I don't know if this is the right thing to do. Would I do it 100%? I've done it before. Why don't we have a player that takes a shot at one of their guys? That's called an eye for eye. I know I would do it. Why hasn't that happened? Because when this happens, when this stuff kind of happens to my teams, or whoever it is, I promise you, we will find a way to, we might not get completely even, but we're going to make sure you understand the significance of what you did. Why hasn't that happened?
Everybody wants you to say we should put a Thunder player in the hospital after that. I just can't get behind hurting players on purpose. At the same time, dude, nobody does anything. There's no chippiness the entire game.
Nothing.
Nothing. Nobody's getting in anybody's face. The only person getting in anybody's face is Evan Alex Caruso. How is there no Grizzly player that has any fight in them at that point? So that's why I'm sitting there. I'm like, yeah, dude, Ja getting taken out loses you that game. Yeah. At the same time, look, I'm like, you still from a logistics standpoint, minus Ja Morant, you still should have won that game, but you're just playing on your heels the entire time. You're scared the entire time. Yeah. That drove me crazy, dude. Again, I'm not for hurting somebody on purpose, but if somebody's going to sit there, maybe somebody could get in Lu Dort's face in the moment. Dude, not a single person. Not a single person. Nobody's built for it. Nobody's built for it.
How many times they went up for layups? Bro, it doesn't take much. You send a message. You're not going to put somebody in the hospital. And if it happens, it happens. If you put somebody in the hospital, sorry, we apologize. That's how it happens, in all honesty.
No, that's nothing chippy.
Nothing.
Absolutely no nothing. Physicality at all. That's the same thing.
Blow somebody up on a screen. That's how you do it. You got to figure out a way to make sure they understand that stuff is not going to go. It's not going to fly here, because if that happens again, I promise you, it's only going to get worse. And so, yes, it does have to happen. I don't understand it. I don't get it. You have to blow somebody up in this game, but whatever. That's enough about Lu Dort. I'm not going to talk about him in all honesty the rest of the game. just because he's a non-factor in the game in a sense, except for like he's a dirty player. That's what it comes down to. All right, let's move on. We do have some super chats. DJ Lagway still rocking with Bane and Jaron. Trade him. DJ is out on the big two. What say you?
I think the roster is so unbelievably dismal that there's a high chance you have to come off of one of the two. But again, they're triple teaming Jaron because they can. Like I'm just sitting there, I'm like, okay, one, Jaron is getting fouled every time down the court, but it's a physical game. I'm not necessarily pissed that he's not getting all those calls. I'm pissed because they can just send 3 guys to him and they're like, shoot it from the corner, literally anyone. Like they're going to give that shot to anybody. Like Luke, they'll give that shot to him. He had a big 3 at the end of the first half and then disappeared again. Scottie Pippen Jr. had a hell of a first quarter. Let him shoot that ball. Who cares? John Conchar. Okay. Santi Aldama just straight up airballed when he had a wide open 3, which again is a guy you need to be able to count on in this time of year based off this. But there's so many things that probably are flaws with those two dudes. 100%. Like, especially like every time Desmond Bane decides to dribble against a good defender. That's an absolute nightmare. Which, by the way, is basically every OKC player that there is. It's a really good defender, which is why it looks so bad. Jaron still gets too caught up, still is not doing well in the double team, but he was awesome all year long until he got hurt and they decided to change things up. So I'm still don't know why we're trying to throw out a 60 whatever game sample for a 12 game sample, whatever it was. But you can't tell because the roster is just so not built well around them. You know? Like, listen, role players showed up well tonight. They played a heck of a first half, but you saw what happened as soon as the energy went the other way. Just caved. Just don't have anybody built for it, man.
Yeah. No Bluffing Podcast, Chris, always here rocking with us. Thank you. 1. 2, go check them out. They record, I believe they're doing more live Sundays for a Monday release, or it might even release on Sundays. I know I see them recording Sundays. I just don't know if they fully release it or not. But either way, the No Bluffing Podcast, always good. Evan and Chris do a good job on it, but the big two isn't good enough. And I will say, some people have talked about this in the past, that the 1A, the 1B conversation, right? There is no 1A, 1B conversation. It's over. Ja Morant is the 1. If you want to find somebody as the 2, that's fine. But nobody is a 1B to Ja Morant on this team. Jaren will never be there. Dez will never be there. Ja Morant is the 1. These other guys, they're good alongside Ja, and that's fine. And that's okay to be like that. But there is no 1B. And it's just clear as day. All right, let's go to Titan MVP, which 1, Titan MVP, thank you. But 2, the real Titans, they got Cam Ward tonight. Did you like it?
Yeah, I was like, and they got a veteran receiver to help them out.
Little Tyler Lockett action. I like it.
Good moves after about 2 decades of terrible moves.
Yeah, I don't know if Cam Ward's that guy, but we'll see. Real quick, Titan MVP saying, hey, my guys, trying to be positive, but I can't really piss. Not to mention seeing SGA smirk. I missed it. I didn't see the smirk.
Yeah, I mean, I'd probably smirk too if I just came back from 30 down to win a game on the road. Yeah, I'd smirk too. Yeah, I mean, there's nothing to be happy about. Doesn't be happy about. Sucks that Ja got hurt. Sucks that you gave up 29 points. Sucks that your roster sucks. Sucks that you're going to have this coach you're probably trying to hire and you absolutely effing shouldn't. Yeah, dude. Like, there's nothing to be said. And, like, again, I can't with good conscience say you should hurt other players on purpose, but every part of me wanted them to just start throwing haymakers at the Thunder.
100%.
1,000%. But you shouldn't. For the kids listening, it's not the right decision. But yeah, dude, there's nothing to be positive about. There's absolutely nothing. You're gonna get beaten game 4. Like, that was the game that had the chance for you to 1, steal one.
They would have.
Oh, they would have if Josh
easily.
Yeah. But 2, also for you to try and find any kind of momentum to possibly squeeze a second game out. The entire air just got taken out of the series. I'd be amazed if they even compete.
No.
Game 4. I'll be honest.
Bruh. I got some bad news for you. All right, we're not going to get into that just yet because I don't want to go there. But we do have some crash outs coming in the comments, and this is from our guy Wayno. This is just his apology for crashing out in the comments today. Deserve it after this season for sure. So, one, we always welcome crash outs. We always welcome banter. If we're going to talk S, please feel free. You can talk some ish too.
Unless you think that play by Lu Dort wasn't dirty, then you're not allowed to speak.
Yeah, but yeah, if you say it's not dirty, then that's on you. You're not allowed to push any more buttons. All right, we got one more. We just had one come through. Chicken Unicorn, always a friend of the show. Would OKC win if SGA went out? Okay, hold on.
Yes.
With SGA and No Ja, both two, 1B, whatever, pretty much those teams, you think OKC wins?
I think if OKC loses SGA and you still have Ja Morant and you get Brandon Clark and Jalen Wells back, you lose.
No.
Not tonight. Not tonight.
I disagree. No, I'm just in general.
The entire series?
The entire series.
Yeah, no, I think that team's that much better than the Grizzlies.
No, they're not.
I think so.
Because I think that you could figure out a way, especially if you gave me Jalen Wells and BC, bro. No. Like, yeah. I think that they're good, but I don't think that they can go and find a shot. Huh?
They might compete. They're losing.
We'll see. Listen, we'll see. But my thing is I think that the Grizzlies win no matter what.
Was it that our friend John Roser says, as currently constructed, yes, that Thunder team is that much better than you.
See,
they won't win anything. I still have a hard time seeing them getting past the Clippers, to be honest. Like, they're awesome. Like, the Thunder are awesome. And if they can step up to the plate, for sure. But we'll see. But at the same time, I don't think it matters. If you had your whole roster completely healthy, I still think you lose this team.
Well, well, no matter what, I hope Lu Dort gets hit by a plane tonight, one way or the other. Just something. Something. Just a plane. I don't know.
They're not flying out yet.
I don't know. Maybe
I don't hope he gets hit by a plane, but I hope he stubs his toe really bad where it hurts the rest of the playoffs.
I hope he gets his.
I'm going to bring this up too. Just back to what we're talking about. This is why I get so frustrated about this, because the roster sucks so much. He's not getting locked up by guys 6 inches smaller and 40 pounds heavier. That guy's making it hard on him. But then they just send 3 other guys as soon as he gets anywhere near the paint.
Well, there's no plan of action. None.
Oh, dude, them not getting the ball to him until like 8 seconds left on the shot clock is like, hey, let's take 16 seconds to even get into what we want to get to, and then ask Jaren to catch it all the way out on the 3-point line to get into his post up with 8 seconds left on the shot clock, and then find a way to take advantage of that matchup against a perimeter defender, by the way. The dumbassery is just next level. I'm like, why are we walking the ball up the court when we know we're going to give it to Jaren? And he's not going to get it in the paint. He's going to catch it at the 3-point line. And they're going to send 3 guys at him, which means he can't even get to what he wants to get to. He has to pass out of it.
Yeah.
It's asinine. So, listen, I don't think Jaren is nearly as flawed as a lot of people think Jaren is. But, dude, like, it's also impossible to tell. It's impossible.
Yeah. It's tough. It's tough. And that's the thing is like, there's no plan of action for any of this. Like, nothing. Like, there's no, like, hey, let's run a set out of a timeout and let's keep running it. And then there's going to be some actions off of that. It's not hard to draw. These are professional athletes. Draw up a couple different looks. And then when you get to the next timeout, hey, that worked. All right, let's run a couple of action and a couple of sets off of that. It doesn't make sense that there's nothing happening. There's no organization to their offense at all. They're just getting over before 16 and then just dribbling it out. And then eventually get to Scotty, and then maybe Scotty does something, and then we might throw it to Jaren. But like after we hold it and pump fake. Hey, can you just like hold off Caruso just for a second? I'm trying to get you the ball, and then they eventually get it to him, and then like everybody attacks. Like that's their offense. It's embarrassing.
And like my whole point is, DJ, they can't get the ball to him unless he goes at the 3-point line. Nobody can throw an entry pass. Nobody can get an entry pass. part of the reason it's hard to throw an entry pass is because they send a second guy next to him if you try and get it to him in the post, because they don't care if you throw it across the court and a guy tries to shoot a three. That's Jaren gets that 3-point line, but if he starts out in the paint, they don't get him the ball.
Yeah.
They just don't give him the ball, man. And so, and listen, it was going to be super hard for this dude to come in and change much with 9 games left in the season. Right. So I'm not sitting here trying to throw like, hey, like he has to like completely revamp this offense. Like the offense was pretty much dead in the water outside of jaw screens.
Yeah.
When he took over. I'm much more so on the train of like that he's still making silly mistakes that you would expect a rookie coach to make. And I don't think the team's responding to him. I don't think the team's going to respond to him. It's not the type of coach you need, in my opinion.
Yeah, I agree. And I don't know what direction this team goes. And Director Dank is like just hitting perfect right now. I don't know what's going to happen in the future, because the thing is, like, you're looking at Zach Kleiman, they paid over $1 million to bring in this coach just to be an assistant before they even paid him. They paid Paris basketball $1 million just to be able to get his contract, right? And so at that point, then they make him a new contract towards they had to pay him. That's the issue. And I know you brought it up, and I went back and actually listened to the Brian Windhorst, conversation when he had with the Barstool guys. And it was all about like, hey, they didn't want anybody else to be able to get him in the offseason. So they went and made sure that they made this decision before the season's over, just because they knew that was the decision they were going to make at the end of the season. I just don't know. Just like King Mix is saying, I don't know what direction this team goes. It doesn't make sense. Like, this team is completely just kind of lost. But we do have something funny from King Mix, and I do want to show this. King Mix out in Vegas. One, enjoy yourself. I hope you put some money on OKC to win on the money line when they were plus 1,500 at one point. But I got off the plane to Vegas, and I see this bull emoji, man. I'm getting 3 shots of Everclear. Have you ever had a shot of Everclear?
Yeah, don't. 10 out of 10, do not recommend. It's bad news bears.
Yeah, no doubt. All right, well, but we appreciate you, King Mix. Always an OG here, no doubt. But yes, please do not take 3 shots of Everclear. It's not that bad. We expected this. We just didn't know the Grizzlies were going to play so well in the first half.
Classic.
And then John gets hurt, and then that happens. But RP Snipes wants to say homerism at its finest. But what I say to you is, one, thank you for watching our show. But I don't know if you saw the name. The name says Grizz 901, which probably has something to do with the Grizzlies, probably has something to do with Memphis. But once again, RP Snipes, we appreciate you. Thank you for watching us. All right, let's keep it rolling.
That was about. I just said that they could have their best player gone and us have our entire roster and we still lose. I don't know what he's talking about. Genuinely, I have no idea what he's talking about. Hey, shout out to Brown and Box, and haven't seen you in a while.
Yep.
2 months was not the worst decision ever, because it was like you had nothing to lose by doing it, but I don't believe you should hire him.
My God, I want to crash out so bad, but I'm trying to not be that guy. I've already went off and just told people they need to send SGA to the hospital, or Lu Dort to the hospital, and get hit by a plane. I'm trying not to crash out, but yes, Tomas is not a great decision. But in all honesty, I don't know what direction we go with that, but I'm not there yet. I just have a feeling Saturday is going to be the last show for sure, which would be the last show for the last show. That makes sense.
No. Yeah.
And it's a Saturday. We might have some time.
Yeah.
All right, I don't want to talk about the coaching hire just yet. Let's get to the 31 points in the second half, because that's my issue. How does that happen? And I know we've talked about a little bit of the offense, but how does 31 points coming off of a 77-point first half, how does it happen in the second, where you have a quarter of, I think it's an 18 point and a 13-point quarter?
Playing afraid, no real plan. I think it's as simple as that. I mean, obviously, Ja going out just takes the air out of the team. right? It just takes the air out of the team completely. But you just came out, and as soon as the Thunder hit a couple of shots, you were on your heels the entire time. And that's personnel, right? Like, as much as everybody wants to blame Tumas for that loss, I've seen a lot of people wanting to blame Tumas for that loss. Not everyone, but a lot of people want to blame. I'm like, part of it is you got to have players who are ready to step up, and they just didn't. I just didn't. And, Jaren and Dez were not good enough. Dez got plenty of good looks tonight that he missed. He's been nailing them a lot more than he's been missing them lately, it's felt like. But tonight he just missed a ton of them. And then you were just you're just on your heels. Like, the fact that they fought back at all in the fourth quarter was surprising to me. Like, the fact they even had a chance to win that game in the fourth quarter was surprising to me. And that's the problem with this team.
Yeah.
Like, up 30, Ja or no Ja, I shouldn't have to be surprised that you found fight in you at some point in the game. And I was surprised they found fight in the fourth quarter.
There is no fight in this team, though. Like, I know it looked like it. They were rolling over. Like,
that's a problem.
Like,
I'm with you.
Like, I don't get it. How do you score 31 points? Like, if we like 31, like I am willing to fight. Okay. Like, at some point, I'm figuring out something. I don't care if we have to just take each other out. I'm willing to do something to get us going. And it looked like there was nothing happening the entire second half. They came out after seeing Ja and probably seeing him and his situation and knowing that he is probably done. But this is their chance to be men, to be professionals. Like, and I know everybody's talking about, how much Bane gets paid and honestly what Jaren gets paid. And I get that. I don't care about the money. I know they're important players to this team, whether they get paid $1 million or they get paid peanuts. They're important to this team. But my thing is I don't get how they can't make something happen. Like, these dudes, Jaren's 7 years in the league, and he's still doing this kind of stuff. It just doesn't make sense why this consistently is the way that they play. And they just play so many bad words I can't say.
King Meeks, there is crying in basketball tonight. It's not baseball. Dude, this is it. Keith just summed it up perfectly. Everyone else is waiting for an adult to walk into their like. That's like, if you just get beat, like, you're just not making your shots, and they're just making their shots, is what it is.
Yeah.
But the fact that everything has to be going your way for you to be able to, everything was falling for him in the first half. Like, you had Scotty stop making a bunch of shots, and then all of a sudden, Jitty's making shots. Like, everybody's a momentum player on the team. It feels like, outside of Ja, and then for stretches of the season, Jaren or Dez. Like, that's really it. And then as soon as the energy goes against you, you completely start folding. It's like, dude, you can't even match their physicality on defense. Like, Scottie Pippen's the only one matching physicality defensively. Him and Edie, who then just assaults Lu Dort on the other side of the court.
What was he doing?
Listen, Edie did not have a bad game at all, but I was like, why are you punching Lu Dort in the face? I was like, maybe that's your guy. That's your guy.
Edie, I see you.
To be clear, I know the Edie hype's here tonight. No way are we blaming Zach Edey for this loss. It was just a hilariously not good moment and a really bad time.
Well, I went back and rewatched it. And I know what he was doing. And if you see this a lot of times, the bigs do this to each other. The problem is Lu Dort isn't a big. And so when he did that, he punched him right into his mouth. Usually they're pushing off each other and trying to hit the ball away. Like, I don't know why they do that, but they always will. They'll hold here and he'll push and then do his other hand, which doesn't make sense. Like, just, he has his hand already there. Just jump up and tip it. Anyway, I think it was a brain lapse. It was an issue, whatever. I don't
I
blame you for
understood
it.
what he was doing. I was just like, saw who he did it against. I'm like, you can't do it against a guy that much smaller than you. Guys do that all the time on those tips when it's big on big, 100%. But I was like, that's not big on big. Your elbow's just right where his face is.
Dude, I wish he would have smoked him. Like that would have been.
At least get your money's worth or something.
Yeah.
Um,
Thunderbird still says 7 straight threes in the first half. Here it is. Sorry. I was losing my mind. He's a Thunders fan. I agree. I was losing my mind as a Grizzlies fan. I'm like, all right, because I have been, I'm even kill. I'm never too high, never too low. I got excited. I was like, all right, well, maybe if the Grizzlies look this good, it will give them some much needed momentum. It wins the game, forces another game. And at that point, like we're talking about, hey, we can get to maybe a chance in the game 4. And at that point, if you just give yourself a chance, you might have a chance to extend the series. But at the end of the day, whatever. It ends up being bad.
I mean, you weren't
They don't
winning
win.
this series no matter what, but at least you had a chance to like compete, get yourself a game, show some heart, and then it just all got ripped away from you. It felt like just to bring this up again for all of our Thunder Hive here. Thank you for supporting the show again. And this is apparently not Thunder Hive. Reckless, not intentional.
I didn't say that.
Reckless,
Yeah, I
not
didn't say
intentional.
intentional.
Reckless, not intentional. Because
Yeah,
everybody, like, you know what's happening there. And so you're kind of going back to try and do a reckless contest. Same thing as KJ Simpson. Yeah, but it was not intentional. I don't think he was being dirty on purpose.
No, it wasn't a dirty play on purpose. It was an idiotic play.
Yeah.
Idiotic. And if you don't believe that, you are an idiot. I will stand by that. All right, let's get into and continue this. I have no idea how long we've been going here. We're only halfway through, which is good. Let's keep it rolling. Let's have some a little bit more fun as we always do. The bench tonight for the Grizzlies. It was Aldama 31 minutes, Conchar 17 minutes, Luke Kennard. Let's talk about Aldama first. And yes, Art, we will get to your question. Art, you know what? Let's go ahead. Let's wait a little bit, Art, if that's okay with you. Art wants to know about are we in favor of a retool or a rebuild? Let's save that for about 10 minutes. Is that cool with if that's cool with you? Let's save that. I'd like to talk about the bench real quick. Lauren's getting out of here. Real quick on these guys. 31 minutes for Santi. You had to have it. Do you believe in Santi just in general? We're seeing a little bit more extended minutes out of him because of, obviously he's been the go-to, the 6-man ever since BC got hurt. Then we have, Jalen Wells go down, and then now Ja's out. We have Santi here. A lot of people in the chat are already saying sell. Buy or sell on Santi.
Do we think other teams listen to this show?
Obviously.
Hell yeah, I believe in Santi, man. Any team would be lucky to have him. Yeah, 100%, Danny Ainge. Yeah, I believe in Santi as long as that can get other teams to believe in him and also accept his trade value.
I got a question, though. Let me give you some numbers. And whoever it was earlier was talking about the money on, Bane and Jaren. And yes, I understand what you mean. It does make it even worse. And I get the money does make sense on how much these guys do make because you do have a salary cap. All right, so Santi, let me give you some numbers, and I want you to say buy or sell, right? So $10 million contract, 3 years, 3 years, $30 million. Buy or sell Santi moving forward?
I think you buy him then to sell
you
him.
Can't sell him.
You
once
buy
you
him
buy
to
him.
Sell him.
You can't buy him and then sell him.
You buy him for the
You're
sole
buying
purpose
him to your
of
team.
selling him.
No refunds.
No, it's not a refund. It's an exchange. We're bartering goods.
There's no bartering of Santi.
Listen, we are trading our wheat for sheep.
All right, let me clarify this.
More like your sheep for your sheep.
You have to
keep
short him. Matt Skaten, who says
short. I am signing him to trade him.
All right, so the rule is you must keep him for his entire contract. I'm doing 3 years on all these guys. 3 years at $12 million a year. would you buy him?
How much? 12?
12.
I am buying him to then trade my sheep for your brick. That's what I am trying to do. For anybody, I hope somebody at least understands the reference I'm getting in the chat. But I know Daniel for sure doesn't. Not
no
his
idea.
type of game. I am buying him to then trade him. Like, dude, it's no. First off, we got to get rid of Climbing shiny toys. It's more than anything. Got to get rid of Climbing shiny toys. Of
Number
which
one
Santi
shiny,
is
number one
the
shiny toy.
diamond at the center of the crown of shiny toys. But yeah, dude, you've got to no. I'm selling on Santi, dude.
All right.
What does
So
he
no
bring
matter
you
what,
what does he bring you that you want? Like it's a 7-footer that is not physical at all.
right?
It's a traffic cone on defense. He's not even a good paint defender.
See, but he's not that bad. Okay, let me clarify a little bit of why I say he's not that bad. Let's look at the pieces around him. Okay, you have Ja, Dez, and Jaren, right? But really, what else is there? I think that you need him. I think at a good price. And listen, he is going to be he's a restricted free agent. So you have the first right of refusal. Okay. Anything that he signs, you can match, and he has to obviously come back to you. Right. And so you'll get the first right of refusal, which is a good spot to be in with a restricted free agent. My thing is like, what does that look like? And I don't know what kind of contract he signs, just in general, but I think $10 million is fine for a guy like Santi. The reason I say that is because he can help you during the regular season. And I also think that he can help you enough with a better team around him easily. And I just think he's okay. But he does, like what Art's saying. I agree. I agree.
Then see, that's the only reason I was ever in on Santi. I felt like when everybody else would get super up and down, Santi was kind of always on the tracks, right? You got the mountains, you got the valleys, you got people who ride the tracks across. And
Right.
I thought that was going to be Santi. But I'll be honest, he got that ball in the corner tonight, and I'm like, not a chance. And it just cleared the rim by 3 feet. And that's like, for guys who are going to do what you need Santi Aldama to do, or what you want to pay Santi Aldama to do, that you can't have that. You got to have somebody who's going to step up somehow for you. Like, what are you going to be solid at for me? And like, Santi has a nose for the ball. Like, he's a guy who can go track down a rebound, but as soon as you need him to bump up against somebody for a rebound, it's not happening.
Yeah.
Right. And you need more of that. That money needs to go there. I genuinely, I don't hate Santi.
Yeah.
I do not hate Santi at all. I think he has a lot of skills. He's going to be an NBA player. He could be an NBA player for this team, but you put yourself in a spot where you have to use your money very expeditiously.
Yeah.
Like, you have to be extremely conscious of how you spend that money.
Right.
And I don't think it can be Santi.
We'll see. We'll see. There's a lot of questions left to be desired with Santi for sure. Let's go to the other guy that played 33 minutes, Luke Kennard. Did you think that he played just like decent, like playable?
Like most of the team in the first half.
That's it.
That's it. And then he disappeared in the second half. He hit that big three. Is that the only three he hit tonight? He hit that big three, and part of me was like, okay, maybe we'll see Luke show up, and this will be the game. But then he missed a bunch of looks. He didn't shoot other looks. He didn't even put them up. And I was like, all right, there you go. That's another guy to be honest. But it's the same thing we talked about. Every one of these players, we can dive into them for sure. Pretty much all of them outside of this is hilarious. Jitty. I'm like, yeah, man, like he's just gonna back down. Just playing on your heels.
That's what it looked like.
Just playing on your heels.
Didn't look good at all. Talking about that other guy, Jitty. I thought he played. He's never going to wow you, and I've always said this. It's kind of like he's a guy that's never going to wow you. He's never going to win you games. He's really not going to lose you games in a sense. Jitty put 17 minutes. I don't think there's anything that you could say, hey, he was bad tonight. he's just not. He's not great, and but he does his job. In the end of the day, you kind of need somebody just come in and do their job. I get the money he makes is the issue, and I know money is a part of it. But if you're looking at just this game, I think in general he was fine tonight. But I don't think he's going to help you win, or he's not going to really lose the game. But he plays like he knows what he's doing, which there's a lot of these guys that don't know what they're doing.
Yeah, and he's not talented enough to give you what some of these other guys can give you, but what he can give you, he's going to give you. Right? He's not going to back down. He's not going to shy away from the physicality. He's not going to shy away from the moment.
Yeah.
Right. Again, he is the definition of on the tracks player. Right. He just isn't as talented as these other guys. But listen, I was big on last game. I'm like, dude, we should be playing him well more than we're playing Luke Kennard, in my opinion. Like, he's hitting threes at a higher clip. I don't think the whole idea with Luke Kennard is he has more grab. Like, somebody has to stay on his hip. But I'm like, I've seen teams for a long time now just close out hard, and that's enough typically on Luke Kennard. So, yeah, man. There's just not much to say.
Yes, Wayno. Jitty is just Jitty. I do not have a Jitty tattoo, or do I? All right, let's go ahead and get to these.
Signed by Jitty himself. You had him do the tattoo.
Let's get to these super chats real quick. Keith hit on this earlier. We did try to foul out SGA instead of making plays. I didn't realize that SGA had 5 fouls early with 8 minutes to go into the fourth.
For a long time.
And we never could get a foul on him. We never put him in a predicament, in all honesty. And the refs, you had to make it very clear to better get that last foul on him. So I think that was good statement out of Keith. I didn't see us really trying to go at him and try to get that. And I don't think we put him in a spot to really grab that extra foul.
Yeah, it's something that they kind of tried to do, I feel like, for a minute, but they've never actually put him in any kind of, like you said, tough position.
Yeah.
Force him to make a business decision or not.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, business decisions are not very good for Lu Dort. But Wayno's got a question for you. True or false? Grizz fans wish that was game 4.
False.
Really?
Yeah, because there's gonna be something I see at some point that inspires me to say,
don't do it.
So you're telling me there's a chance?
Don't do it. Don't
watch that team go out.
Do not do that to yourself. Don't.
I'm not putting him on tonight. I can't. Lu Dort didn't get the memo. Adam Silver's so mad. He's losing all that money now.
All right. I told Art we would get to this, so let's go ahead and get to it. Let us know. Retool or rebuild? What do you think we should do? Up top.
Retool.
Okay.
Just retool. I mean, because I'm assuming by rebuild, you mean you're breaking it all down. You're starting over, maybe with Ja Morant, but everything else you're trashing. I mean, when I think rebuild, I think no, you're blowing it up. You're sending it all to try and start over, and you're definitely not doing that. You do. I don't feel like you're that crazy far away. Like you said on the last show, you're really. You got juggernauts like the Thunder. At the same time, you really just have not replaced Dillon Brooks and Steven. You just need a small forward and a center to have a really good starting five, a really, really good starting five. Ja Morant, Desmond Bane, Jaren Jackson, really good place to start. Whether you think they are worth the money that they're getting paid or not, that's a hell of a 3 to have in your starting 5. You just can't figure out the other 2 of those 5. And it's left you in an absolute mess. But if you can figure that out, really you get that taken care of. You get one more guy off the bench, and then you have Brandon being able to come off, and you've got a solid top 7. That's really about all you need, really maybe 8 to be able to bring it home. So you're just not crazy far away. You just need to retool it.
See, I'm on the same way because I don't think you rebuild. Rebuild means blowing up, in my opinion. I think your
Yeah.
opinion as well, just like you said. So, I would say you can win with, especially with Jaron. I don't expect Jaron to get the super max, and in all accounts, I've heard that he is probably going to sign whatever extension he can this offseason, just because he doesn't know what next year looks like. So at that point, you go ahead and get your money. What's the difference really? And it's a huge amount, but can he get to there? Maybe. I don't know. But if you can go ahead and sign Jaron to not the Supermax, which would be great in all accounts, I think you can have all three here. And then you'll have Jalen Wells come back next year. Edie will obviously be better. And then at that point, you go get a vet with your mid-level exception. That's the biggest thing is they have not ever got a vet ever. Like never ever do that. Go and then maybe find a way to get a vet that's just on a prove it deal, a 1-year deal. And that's 2, right? Next to your big 3. So that's 5. Then you add in, Jalen Wells, who's kind of proved himself to be a guy, and then Zach Edey. So that's you're at 7 at that point. Maybe there's one other guy that you can have and break, glass in case of emergency, and then you have your young guys that are already on your team.
Yeah,
they have to go out and get some free agents this year.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. I know it's like midnight, Grizz 901. I'm still not gonna say. About yeah, you can think. Go get some free agents, Daniel. Zach Kleiman needs you.
Well, no. I'm saying some people think you can do it through trades. I don't think you can. I don't think there's any way you can make trades.
I understand. Yeah, you. I still think you're silly, but hopefully there's trades to be made because there's a lot of players under contract I like. But you're probably right. Probably gotta do free agent. And the one thing I was talking with somebody today about, so I do just want to mention it because I'm like been trying to nail the front office to the wall for a while now, along with Adam Silver. I do think like you can't blame them. Like the Marcus Smart thing not panning out, I think that's just it just didn't pan out. Very few people, maybe you, but hated the Marcus Smart signing when it happened. When we were saying, hey, we're replacing Dylan Brooks with Marcus Smart, I was like, yeah, like I'm all in on that. I'm all about that. Because it's like, okay, at the worst, you get the same sort of shot checking as Dylan, which was probably never going to happen. But you get a defensive player of the year, another heart and soul guy, veteran who has won a ton. And I was like, I'm all about that. And then you never got the Boston Marcus Smart.
No.
For whatever reason, whether he was hurt, whatever it was. So that was a move. I'm like, okay, you got the bet. I like that. I was all about it. But then you have failed to bring anything else in to help the team. You still haven't replaced Steven Adams with anything super viable. Even though, again, we think Edie's going to develop. He's developed at a super rapid rate this year. Like, dog, you're trying to start a rookie center and go compete for an NBA championship? Nah. Yep. No way. So, but I do want to give credit where credit's due. I was like, I didn't hate the Marcus Smart move. It just didn't work out.
Put a feather in my cap for that one and did not like it. The big other thing is
you didn't like it for the wrong reasons.
I didn't like it for any reason. Derrick Rose. He left. Like a lot of these guys that are vets that end up leaving. Like, I don't get it. Like, I know he retired and did not go play somewhere else, which is fine. But like, was that like a injury decision, or is that just like the locker room vibes? Like, what is it? Because it just doesn't make sense why there isn't a lot of vets on this team. Why vets don't want to come play with Ja Morant. Everybody says how awesome Ja is, and everybody daps him up after the games and whatever. But like nobody's coming to his team. That's the part that always befuddles me is I can't figure out why nobody is coming to play with Ja. Is it the city? Is it the team? Is it the vibes? Like I don't know what it is. Was it the coach? I don't know. I'm just curious why there hasn't been more vets to want to come to Memphis.
Hell if I know. They didn't get the job done. Who knows why? Who knows if it's because you're busy chasing your tail, saying trying to trade every first round pick you own to Phoenix or to the Nets or to whoever for whatever guy, whatever. You're just like, hey, this is why we've had these assets, and you get to have a nice press conference. You know, we've been building these assets for a long time, and we really wanted to utilize them the right way, and this was the big move we wanted. And we really think gives a chance to compete at the highest level. Maybe that's why you're trying to do crap like that. Maybe it's just because you, I don't know, don't have the gravitas or whatever word you want to use there. It feels like the nice way of saying it. Where other GMs, you're able to get the job done with them. Maybe there's no respect there. I don't know why. But the truth is you just haven't gotten it done. Whether it's you've been taking too many big swings and you've not just done the little ones that could help round this out, or even with the little ones, the little moves on the peripheral, you just haven't been able to get the job done. You haven't gotten the job done. I don't know why. It makes zero sense to me because there's moves to be made. Even if they're minuscule. Again, there was not a move to be made this year that was going to get you on the level of OKC or Boston or Cleveland or a lot of teams, honestly. But you could have made a move to try and build this team out a little bit, put yourself in a better chance to compete than try and figure out what you can do later. Instead, you salaried on Marcus Smart and attached a first-round pick to do it. And yeah. I've been frustrated since the All-Star break because you clearly were selling on the season when that happened. No matter how much you thought Vince and Gigi were going to contribute.
Yeah, and that's kind of, and B Carter is very, very much spot on right here. Guys do want to come and, they think you're a piece or two away, but that's in a big market. We're more than a couple pieces away. But I don't know if we're more than a couple pieces away, because you could get somebody. I don't know who that is, and I know we will talk, some free agency at some point. And I know we're not going to have an off-season shows. We'll figure out ways to kind of talk about it. But different things, like you're looking at why people would think that they're that far away. The Grizzlies aren't that far away. In all honesty, the Grizzlies are going to be fine if they can stay healthy. The unfortunate part of this is they cannot stay healthy for anything. And this is another what-if game, another what-if series. John gets hurt in. Like, he's never played in a playoff series and not gotten hurt or not already been hurt before the series started. So there's a lot of that. All right, let's last thing, and I know Keith put this in real quick, and I'll make sure we get to it. But he's saying this. I want to kind of ask you these questions, but zero vision for the team, coaching, front office, star players, vets to buy into the future. Look at CP3 and the Spurs. Your thoughts on getting a guy like a CP3? Do you think that would actually mesh well with our team? And I'm not saying CP3 him. I'm talking about just the type of player, an old vet, like a Mike Conley type guy, an old vet, long in the tooth, but would be really good for maturity level on his team.
Yeah. Yeah, dude. Like, again, it's why I like the Marcus Smart trade when you didn't. I'm like, you need that. Like, you look at Boston Marcus Smart. Also, you look at Washington Marcus Smart doing kip ups on the floor. Like, you need that on your team desperately. Yeah. But we talked about all show. You need guys who are built for the fight, and you don't have it. You're not even close to having it.
Right.
Also, for anyone who has soft ears, just thank God it's midnight and my neighbors are asleep. But this would be much louder right now because that pisses me off to no end. They haven't been able to figure the hell out. But yeah, dude, you need that desperately. That's why I love Bobby Portis, dude. Not like I think Bobby Portis is some knockdown three-point shooters, because I think he'll knock a dude out. But I love John Collins too. Like, who's going to get in there and bully somebody? You got one. You got Zach Edey. The only guy on your team is going to bully anybody for anything. I guess Brandon. I can forget about Brandon. Brandon will go. He's not going to sit there and like tussle with you, but Brandon is hard nosed as it gets, dude. He's always in the mix, 1,000%. Des too, but I don't count Des right now. I'm mad.
Talking about Bobby Portis, crazy eyes. He could be a free agent potentially. I know he has I'm pretty sure he has a player option, but I don't know what that number is. And so I would assume he would go ahead and either I think he would opt out of it and be a free agent. But my thoughts were depending on what they do, because they're gonna have some tough decisions in Milwaukee as well. Because I think Dame is a free agent, and if that happens, then there could be a completely flip and overhaul there. So that could be. We'll see. We'll see with that one for sure. But I do love Crazy Eye Bobby Portis. We need guys like that.
I've been on Bobby Portis for years, baby. I'm all about it.
Yeah.
Let me tell you, I don't think you're getting is Kelly Oubre.
I don't want Kelly Oubre.
That's what I think it comes down to is you're not going to get the shiny cars in Memphis. Like Kevin Durant doesn't want to come here. Whatchamacallit, who's the other one? Jimmy Butler doesn't want to come here. You're not going to get that. What you can get is freaking dudes who just want to hoop and win.
Yeah.
Like you can get that in Memphis. Alex Caruso is living the dream over there in OKC tonight. Who are you going to get? Like just hard-nosed guys who want to win and play basketball. You can get hoopers. You just can't get the shiny cars though.
They're paying Caruso way too much money.
Sure.
They had to overpay to get him.
But at the same, worth every penny tonight, I bet. But at the same time, like Kelly Oubre is like the definition of shiny car type guy. In my opinion. Like, I guess he played in Charlotte for a while and he stuck it out. But I imagine that dude wants to be in LA or the coast.
Oh.
If I'm being honest.
And the issue with the Grizzlies is they're not going to be able to spend enough money to do that. Like they don't have enough money to go and get a guy and be able to overpay. Like that's the only way you can get a free agent in a small market is to overpay in a sense. Just like OKC had to do with getting Caruso, which I like Caruso. He's fine. He's never going to wow you. He can be very reliable, especially in a playoff series where you throw him on, somebody's best player and he comes up clutch for you. But he's not a guy that you want to rely on a consistent basis, in my opinion. And they haven't this year. I know he's been hurt in and out, but they haven't had to rely on him because he's just not all around a great player. But he was worth it tonight. I get that, but down the road they might have other discussions and maybe come off of him because of that. But I do think the Grizzlies need to figure out a way to get a little bit more tough nose, because what they have going on right now is not it. It is ugly. You can't score 31 points in a half after just scoring 77 and have anybody that is remotely affected by that on your team next year, just overall.
And John Collins and Colin Sexton are both just
you love those guys
sitting here in Honkyville, USA.
Honkyville.
They're just sitting here. They're not even playing them. They don't even want them to play because they might win.
Well, there's a lot of bad nights that happen, but King Meeks got a question for you. Worst night tonight? The Grizzlies or Shadur Sanders?
Us, the fans. Grizzlies fans had the worst night tonight. Not a good night for Shadur Sanders either.
Yeah.
But worst night for us.
Yeah, no doubt.
Worst night for us.
Yeah. And that's part of it. Like it's a terrible night. But I think Shadur Sanders, he bombed a lot of his interviews himself. So at that point, he did it to himself. We did nothing to deserve this.
We probably did something.
I called all the Thunder fans idiots.
Today that deserved it. I want to give a shout out real quick to Thunder versus Field. He's actually been putting a lot of true basketball comments in there. Appreciate any time when the other team's fan join us for the show and actually has quality stuff instead of saying 1, 2, 3 Cancun when our best player got hurt. So yeah, just shout out to coming in here and also proving my point. Caruso is awesome. I actually really wanted Caruso for this.
He's not the cube. He doesn't play a lot. I watched this OKC team, and I know I'm talking to the wall here.
Caruso
whatever.
Would be our best player.
Oh, on our team, he'd be awesome. I would pay $20 on our team. Yes. Yeah. I'm saying on their team, they have a lot of good players just like him. I think that they'll come off of him, just like he was saying. They have a lot of guys that are getting paid a lot less money. They're going to start paying those at some point, and eventually they say, hey, white boy, you got to go, bro. You got to go. 20 million, bro. Nah, we can't be doing that.
I'd so love to have him on this team. He's like everything this team doesn't have. God, I would love it. And it so happens every player on their team is awesome. It feels like.
I loved it. Look at us coming together. He's been watching us, she, whoever you are, watching us after the Thunder, watching our games and not the Thunder post game. So we appreciate you. We do normally not crash out this bad. I think I kept it chill besides calling people
we did
idiots.
pretty good.
But yes, I hated that. I just hate it when you have something in a series that could potentially be there. And then in the opposite side, I'd be just as pissed too if one of our idiots did that, because I want to see basketball, and I hate when whether it's my team or some other teams, I hate it seeing Thompson take out Jimmy Butler, because even though I hate the Warriors, I still hate it seeing that, and that pisses me off because you're not going to get both teams at their apex going up against each other, and you just have this knockout, drag out fight, and so.
Wasn't none of us out here defending Dylan Brooks a few years
ago? No, absolutely not. And Fox, I did keep it chill. I did not say I hope Lu Dort dies. I said I hope he gets hit by a plane. There's a difference.
And lives?
And live. It's just the tip. Just the tip.
All
right. You got anything else on this dastardly game that we had tonight?
No, at least it's like it just points out again how far away you are. Again, it's like the only danger is if you steal a game and the organization convinces themselves, well, we had that one game, so we have the formula there. And now it's like, no, we were actually up by 30 in the second half and still found a way to blow it. So I guess there you go. There's your silver lining.
Yeah, at the end of the day, I did not expect this team I didn't expect the Grizzlies to show up tonight at all. And they did, especially in the first half. And they would have easily, that game is an easy win going away. And I think that gives them the momentum they need to at least give them a shot in game 4. And at that point, you get there's going to be no shot in game 4. And you'll hear the Thunder fans, I'll talk about sweep this, sweep that. In all honesty, I expected a sweep. You can't prove me wrong because I expected this to happen. I bet on every single game, I promise you, that the Thunder would cover and win. And so, I completely get it. But, at this point, it's just there's no momentum. There's nothing. And the best player, one of the players for another team hurt your best player. That's part that sucks, and you can't enjoy this whether you're a OKC fan, in all honesty, and definitely not as a Grizzlies fan, because there's no enjoyment.
100% enjoying this,
but I don't know how. I guess that I guess you're so blindsided that you can't enjoy it, but either way,
Jeff, trust me.
Okay. Well,
it could be worse.
Yeah,
we could be homeless.
All right. Besides that, we're going to get out of here.
Who's there?
Nate, we have one more show. I expect us to have one more show.
Yeah.
For all the marbles, one more. It'll be a good I think Saturday will be a good show. I don't know how long we'll go. I don't even know how long we'll go into talking about the game just in general or the future in general. I haven't thought that far in advance, just overall, and whether or not we have a end of the year wrap up show, just kind of a video recording to where we go live one night, just talk about everything. So Saturday isn't as long because listen, it's Saturday. Whatever. I don't know if we need to be going crazy. So King Meeks, yes, we will have a Saturday show after game 4. I haven't even talked to you about it, but I assume that we're going to be able to do a game 4 show. So we'll figure out something one way or the other. We'll get you some content, no doubt. But that's all we got. You got anything else before we're out of here?
Hell no. Dude, I'm so mad and sad. It's only bad feelings over here.
Yeah, same. I'm ready to get out of here. I looked up and it was 12:30.
I didn't go play basketball tonight to watch that game, and I'm sitting there before the game starts. I'm like, man, I could be having fun playing basketball, and I got to sit here and watch this team get the freaking just Dickens beat out of them. And then they go up by 26, and I'm like, hold the phone. And then John Morant gets hurt, and I go, we're gonna lose. Lo and behold, it's just crazy.
I wish I was asleep right now. I can tell you that. But that's all we got. Listen, we appreciate you all, whether you are a Thunder fan or not. I enjoy the banter. I enjoy the back and forth, but also in the end of the day, it's sports. We're all fans. We're all having a good time. But tonight sucked. The Grizzlies lost, and it was a game that I hope to never have to see again. But honestly, T's and P's out to our guy John Morant. Bad fall, bad injury. Hopefully it's not anything serious, like real serious. I don't expect him to play game 4, but either way, in his personal life, I hope it's not serious on him, because I want to make sure he gets back and he's healthy. He's a young man and needs to kind of get into the offseason, get back right, and see if he can kind of rebuild himself into the next year. But that's all we got. We'll see you all Saturday, game 4. See you there. Be nice and tell your friends.